The Jesus that people know of in the Bible is different to the real Jesus. In this lifetime, I was introduced to Jesus through learning Christianity at school in RE and learning about the Bible. And I just didn't resonate with it. There was so much in the Bible that I just felt in my soul wasn't true, and I just couldn't resonate with it. And so I kind of was put off Jesus and religion and Christianity, and I even thought Jesus was really uncool, and I thought Christianity was really uncool for so long. And then when I started my spiritual awakening, I found out that Jesus was one of my main guides, and I couldn't believe it at first, because when I first saw him, I thought that I was making up. I thought, for God's sake, I've just pulled literally the first person I know out of the Bible as my main spirit guide when I was meeting him. And then as time's gone on, I've got a really strong relationship with him now, and I wanted to share what the real Jesus is like, because I feel like the Bible has been edited and changed so much over time to actually put people off the real Jesus, or put people off the real path of Christ I am Litty, or Christianity. So to be a Christian is actually to be a Christ I am, which means to actually follow the path of what Jesus taught, how to become a Christ, how to become an ascended enlightened master and become your own Christ like him. And so I felt like the Bible puts people off the real Jesus. It probably got a lot of truth, a lot of light, a lot of guidance, and I know people find Jesus and God through the Bible, so I'm glad that they've found God and Jesus through the Bible. But there are some lies in there as well that puts you off the true path. So first things first, Jesus was a powerful magician. He was a psychic, he was a healer, so he used energy, he did energy work, healing. He could speak directly to God in his mind, he could read people's minds, he was able to see visions of the future and things like that. So he was a psychic, and he had psychic gifts and powers just like we all do naturally, but because of the way that we've lived in our diet and the things we've been taught and stuff, we've kind of shut off those abilities within ourselves. And also Christianity demonizes it, which is one of those things that I don't like, because it puts people off the truth. There are demons that exist on the spiritual realms, but also there's the light as well, and Jesus worked with the light. And so he was a magician. He also was a vegan. Jesus loved animals, God's creations, his brothers and sisters. He never harmed them, but more than that, he loved himself, and so he didn't consume or eat animals, because consuming and eating that animal consciousness is counteractive to trying to ascend your animalistic state in your ego. When you're living in your ego, you're living in your animalistic nature, which is really survival and fight or flight in your emotions. And so you want to ascend out of that and live like an angel. Angels consume light, demons consume death and illness and pain and fear. Angels consume love and light and positivity. And so what are you actually feeding when you are eating death and blood and things like that? It's a ritual black magic sacrifice to kill animals, and then to consume them, it's no good. And Jesus didn't approve of that at all. And to kill animals in the name of God and Jesus Christ is demonic. So he also was really funny. Such a funny sense of humour. You would love him. You'd see him like a best friend or a brother or something, and most of your souls already know him in heaven. So even if you don't know of him in this life, in this light, you would hopefully recognise him and not deny him, because you're probably best mates with him in heaven anyway. Jesus wore crystals, he worked with crystals, precious metals, and he also knew of astrology and worked with the energies at play, because astrology is just the science of the energies that are governing the earth, and Jesus knew of astrology and utilised those energies in his magic and in his healing, and in basically getting rid of the spiritual night and manifesting and bringing more light onto this plane and helping people save their souls, get rid of the demons that have been feeding off them and attached to them and keeping them in negative cycles, and ascending their kundalini and their conscious awareness and filling them with lights to become Christ themselves. Crystals are actually mentioned in the Bible so many times, so that's why I say there is some light. If you find light in the stories, that's perfect, that's what it's designed for, but there's also some lies that take you off being a true Christ like Jesus. Like for example, when people say he ate fish or whatever it is, when he multiplied the fish or whatever that story was to feed everyone, that was actually changed. He was a raw vegan, and it was talking about how fruit has the seeds within it to feed millions, thousands and thousands, because fruit can multiply and you can feed many with just a small amount of fruit. Fish, you killing the fish, you can't then have more, so it was changed. He also knew of the power of plant medicines and didn't shy away from using plants as ways to ascend your consciousness and find God. Those stories of Moses burning DMT-like substances, or even marijuana in the burning bush when he met God face to face. There's stained glass paintings of Jesus holding magic mushrooms. Jesus was aware that God gifted us plants on this earth to heal and to also ascend our consciousness to the mind of God, and to experience God, and to remember where we're from, and to remember how to get back home, back to God. If anything, he would say that most people in this realm at the minute are addicted to something, are addicted to a drug, whether it be the chemicals that's released internally when you have emotional addictions to people's places or things, whether it's coffee, sugar, alcohol. People have addictions to these things, even wheat, refined carbs, and they don't realise that they're addicted to these things, and then they'll point the finger at those who are addicted to what society or those that govern what they say is, oh, they're illegal, they're bad. People like to point the finger and look down on those people. Jesus wasn't like that. Jesus understood the mechanisms behind addiction. He understood how to actually cure and help people heal their addictions, and how to use plant medicines as a tool, not as a crutch, but as a tool to help you shortcut your ascension and enlightenment and become an enlightened Christ-like being just like him.